And now, it's time for Mork Zero and Friends Halloween Happenings 2, our second volume in JPN Ted Halloween. Join us as we present Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. This is show 8764, presenting Mork Zero and Friends Halloween Happenings, and we are having a great time. But first, let me tell you my rules and advice for a safe and scary Halloween. Don't go without your parents. Don't accept any apples, popcorn, or cookies for treats. Don't eat all your candy in one night. And don't play mean tricks on neighbors. Here's my list of do's. Do watch out for traffic. Do carry a flashlight. Do walk together. Do remember to say thank you and happy Halloween. And don't forget to have a good time this Halloween. What would be better than a scary song? But anyway, I'd like to start the song with this immortal classic. One thing that life finances for a long time. What Frank Sinatra called the dumbest thing you ever heard. And Elvis, yes, the king himself, called the rap song as amazing. So if you're out there, Elvis, I'm still here. I was working in the lab late one night when my eyes beheld an eerie sight. For a monster from the slab began to rise, and suddenly, to my surprise, he did the mash. He did the monster mash, the monster mash. It was a graveyard smash, he did the mash. It caught on in a flash, he did the mash. It was the monster mash. From my laboratory in the castle east to the master bedroom where the vampires feast, the ghouls all came from their humble abode to get a jolt from my electrode. They did the mash. They did the monster mash, the monster mash. It was a graveyard smash. You caught on in a flash. It's all the mash. It's all the monster mash. The zombies were having fun. The party had just begun. The guests included Roseman, Dracula, and his son. The scene was rocking over digging sounds. Igor on chains backed by his baying hounds. The coffin bangers from were about to arrive with a local group. They kept the fight. It is the mash. It is the monster mash. The monster mash. It was a graveyard smash. It caught on in a flash. It's all the mash. It's all the monster mash. Out from his coffin, Drax voice did ring. Seems he was troubled by just one thing. Opened the lid and shook his fist and said, "What happened?" I got the rain twist. It's all the mash. It's all the monster mash. The monster mash. It's a graveyard smash. You caught on in a flash. It's all the mash. It's all the monster mash. Now everything's cool. Drax apart the band. And the monster mash is a hit of the land. For you, the living, this mash was then too. When you get to my door, tell them Boris sent you. And you can mash. And you can monster mash. The monster mash. Into my graveyard smash. You'll catch on in a flash and do the mash. And do the monster mash. Stood! Easy, Igor. You impetuous young boy. It's not a mash. It's not a mash. And now I'd like to have John Paul sing a little song you do. It's Stirring the Brew.
Stirring and stirring and stirring the brew. Stirring and stirring and stirring the brew. Tiptoe, tiptoe.
That's very good. And now, we'd like to present this year's Halloween Classic. And you're invited to partake in this little experiment. You see, we are presenting Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Please, it might be a bit too intense and a bit too scary for some people. We ask that if you're too nervous to see this, please leave the theater. You see, Dr. Jekyll is a philanthropist and physician, loved by all, and Mr. Hyde is utterly loathsome and plunges into all manners of evil. You see, Dr. Jekyll created a potion that, well, ready to begin.
Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde by Robert Louis Stevenson.
Every man is truly two beings, cursed with the struggle of good and evil within him. What will this duality be like, separated, each part living alone? The good companion, and then the pure and outly evil of a man. Oh, that you, Poole?
Yes, Dr. Jekyll.
Oh, come in, come in. Did you get the sword?
Yes, sir. Finally, sir. But only 3 pounds of it. It was all the chemist had.
Good. It will suffice. Thank you, Poole.
Anything else, sir?
Oh, no, Poole. Good night.
I beg pardon, sir, if I may ask. Is the experiment nearly done?
I think so, Poole. This time, I think it's really nearly done.
Oh, splendid, sir. Cook would be glad to hear it, too. Good night.
Good night, good night. Yes, and a gram of salt. Where's your courage, Jekyll? Drink it. Drink it. Evil within you, growing before your eyes. There's breath in your other half, Jekyll. You've given him the miracle of life. The essence of the hidden evil in a man, Dr. Jekyll. The miracle of consummate evil come to life. The hidden soul of Jekyll. I am Mr. Hyde.
That night, like a shadow from an evil place, a stooped figure walked alone in the London streets. About him was a feeling of deformity and decay. He had come from the by-street door of Dr. Henry Jekyll's house, from his laboratory. And it was this same door he entered again when the first light of dawn dispelled the night. For during the day, the house and the laboratory were quiet, while the master slept. That evening, Mr. Utterson, the lawyer, stood before the bright fire in the library. Dr. Jekyll.
This plan is preposterous, Jekyll. I'm your lawyer, yes.
There's nothing to be so concerned about, Utterson. Edward Hyde is a new friend of mine. I want to be sure he's provided for in case something happens to me, that's all.
But nothing's going to happen to you. How could you just disappear, as you've stated in this testament?
Well, now, how could I know that, Utterson?
Well, it's strange, Jekyll, but if this is the way you want it,
Hyde is captured my interest, Utterson. His well-being is the one thing uppermost in my mind. I want to be certain, in case something does happen to me, that Hyde will be financially secure to carry on.
I see. Well, all right, Jacob, as you wish. The will will be ready for your signature in a few days. I'll bring it around myself.
Splendid, Utterson. Now, what about that spot one?
Thanks, no. Dr. Langdon's expecting me. He was only asking about you the other evening, Jacob. We see you so seldom these days.
I've been rather hard at it in the laboratory. Sure you can't stay?
Another time. Good night, Jacob.
Good night.
Wonder who the devil Miss Edward Hyde is.
Mr. Utterson was the first of many Londoners who were to wonder about the hideous spectre-like Mr. Hyde, who were to fear the shadows of night because of him. One evening, nearly a week later...
Help me, sir! Help me!
Here you, fellow. What's the matter?
It's a monster, sir. He struck me with his cane. Help me, sir, please.
There. Nobody's going to hurt you. Now, where is this monster you speak of?
He was right behind me, sir. All the way from Clement Street. Look, there. Under the corner light. You'll not let him come at me again, will you, sir? Will you?
No, my lad. No harm will come to you.
Oh, sir.
He's seen us now. Wait. By George, it is a monster.
Look, sir. He's making for that doorway. The small one in the shadow. Just there.
So he is. Hey there, fellow. Wait a minute there. Oh, my lad.
But, sir, don't let him.
It's all right now. Don't be afraid. You there. Did you strike this child?
If the ruffian molests me again, I'll strike him again.
What kind of a devil are you?
There's no gentleman that wishes to avoid a scene. It was an accident. Maybe this pound note will ease the boy's pain.
Oh, no.
Take it, lad.
Now, if you'll excuse me.
Wait a moment. And this door. Isn't this Jekyll's laboratory? You must be Mr. Hyde. I'm an old friend of the doctor's, Utterson, Bond Street. You must have heard of me. I was just on my way to see Jekyll.
How did you know I'm Mr. Hyde?
Oh, we have common friends.
Who are they?
Jekyll, for one. Come, let me see your face, Mr. Hyde. How well shall I know you when we meet again?
We shall not meet again, Mr. Utterson.
Now, so that is Hyde. Now, my lad, run along. I've got a call to make.
This house, sir?
Yes, but at the front door. I want to see if Mr. Jekyll's in. Now, my lad, you are on home, and don't let me catch you out on the dark streets like this again.
Yes, sir, you won't, sir. Thank you. Thank you.
Good evening, Paul.
Good evening, Mr. Utterson.
Dr. Jekyll home, Paul?
I'm afraid not, sir.
Thought you would be here at this late hour.
Most generally, he is, sir.
I just saw that Hyde fellow go into the laboratory door. Is that right, when Dr. Jekyll's away from home?
Quite right, Mr. Utterson. Mr. Hyde has a key.
Your master seems to put a great deal of trust in him.
Yes, sir, he does indeed. We all have orders to obey him, though we see him seldom. He mostly comes and goes by the street door and at night, sir.
Well, tell Dr. Jekyll I'd like to see him as soon as possible and give him these papers, will you, fool? I was talking with him about them a few days ago.
Yes, sir.
Good night, Paul.
Good night, Mr. Utterson. The sword, Mr. Hyde. Hurry. Yes, water. Pour the powder in slowly. Now, drink it now. Look, the strength of good, Mr. Hyde. The triumphant strength of good. What a face. The terror of your eyes unclouding. The straightening of your crooked, evil soul. The masking of an ugly idol in the glass. It's the last of you to hide. You'll never exist again.
That's you, Dr. Jekyll?
Yes, Paul.
I'm so sorry.